Ladies and gentlemen, one of the key tasks directed by Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thắng, member of the Party Central Committee, Minister of Transport, standing vice chairman of the National Traffic Safety Committee in the nationwide online conference on traffic order and safety in the first quarters of 2024, is that the traffic police force needs to continue to strongly innovate its methods of patrolling, controlling, and handling violations of traffic order and safety, strengthens the applications of science and technologies in this work to continue to control and reduce traffic accidents on three criteria: the number of cases, number of deaths, and number of injuries compared to 2023.
At the conference, the Minister of Transport and Standing Vice Chairman of the National Traffic Safety Committee requested the traffic police force to thoroughly use professional technical equipment and surveillance camera system to record, detect, and handle violations and manage patrol and control work to ensure publicity and transparency, continue to remote control, resolutely handle violations of alcohol and drug concentrations, overloading, expanding goods and containers, complete connection and sharing of traffic safety data with a number of units inside and outside the police sector, share resources of handling administrative violations in the field of traffic for VNEIT application, ministries, branches, unions, agencies with members in the National Traffic Safety Committee, social political organizations and mass media agencies at the central and local levels need to innovate propaganda methods, building an organizational traffic culture associated with the exemplary role of the leader, focus on building a safe traffic culture.
As a working session with the People's Committee of Hoa Thanh Thao on the morning of April 24 to survey and evaluate the implementations of the laws on direct democracy, Mr. Hoàng Quốc Long, Director of the Youth Affairs Department, the Ministry of Home Affairs, proposed that Hoa Thanh Thao needs to focus on removing bottlenecks in local policy communication.
According to the assessment of the Ministry of Home Affairs, in recent times, policy communication work nationwide in general and Hoa Thanh Thao in particular has been actively and regularly deployed in the process of implementing and finalizing policies. However, communication work has not really received proper attention. Many ministry branches and localities do not have a team of dedicated and professional policy communication staff. We have not seen the importance of allocating appropriate resources for policy communication, affecting the implementation of the state's policies, guidelines, and laws. In the context of the current information explosion, it is recommended that policy communication work needs to be focused, improving professionalism throughout the system of state administrative agencies, contributing to creating consensus and improving efficiency in policy implementation. If the bottleneck in the policy communication is not removed, it will become a hotspot. On the morning of April 24, the Provincial Party Standing Committee had a specialized supervision session for the Party Committee of the Department of Justice on leading and directing the implementation of the grassroots democracy regulations and the law on implementation of grassroots democracy. The supervision team was led by Mr. Trương Nhật Quang, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, head of the Provincial Party Committee's Mass Mobilization Department. Through supervision, it has shown that in recent times, the party committee and the department leaders have organized and fully implemented the party's resolutions and directives, the state's legal policies and leadership documents and directives of the Provincial Party Committee and Provincial Bills Committee on implementing the regulation on democracy at the grassroots and the law on implementation of democracy at the grassroots for civil servants and workers in the agency, carried out inspection and supervision work well at the unit, create conditions for civil servants and employees of the department to give opinions, supervise and inspect agency activities through disclosure and transparency of information. The delegation appreciated their chief results and at the same time recommended that the party committee of the Department of Justice learn from experience and overcome limitations, continue to focus on leading, directing, and organizing the good implementation of the grassroots democracy regulations and the law on implementation of grassroots democracy. On the morning of April 24, the State Budget Revenue Steering Committee of the TayNinhTV Province met to evaluate the state budget revenue situation in the first quarter of 2024 and propose tasks and solutions to complete the state budget revenue estimate in 2024. Mr. Dương Văn Thắng, Vice Chairman of the Provincial Budget Committee, head of the Provincial State Budget Revenue Steering Committee, attended and chaired the meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Tấn Lợi, Director of the Tax Department, Standing Deputy Head of the Provincial State Budget Revenue Steering Committee, reported preliminary results of state budget revenue in the first quarter of 2024, estimated implementation in the first 6 months of 2024. Accordingly, total state budget revenue in the area in the first quarter of 2024 is 3,554.4 billion Vietnam dong, reaching 32.4% compared to the estimate of the Ministry of Finance, reaching 32% compared to the estimate of the People's Council and People's Committee of the TayNinhTV Province, compared to the same period in 2023, increased by 12%. Besides the results achieved after the first 3 months of the year, leaders of districts, towns, and cities raised many issues. Although the local economy shows signs of recovery, there are still complex fluctuations that are difficult to predict. Increasing risk of the production and business environment, the number of newly established businesses decreased sharply over the same period. Many tax revenue taxes have not yet reached the estimated progress. Concluding the meeting, Mr. Dương Văn Thắng emphasized collecting correctly and fully, avoiding cases of over-collection. However, it is also necessary to do more research on the fields of e-commerce and online business, establish an anti-revenue loss team, and seriously deploy solutions to combat tax loss. On the morning of April 24, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, head of the National Assembly delegation of the TayNinhTV Province, visited and gave gifts to policy families and people with meritorious services to the revolution in Trang Bang Thao, accompanied by Mr. Hồ Văn Hồng, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Thao Party Committee, Chairman of Trang Bang Thao People's Council. The delegation visited and gave gifts to policy families and people with contributions to the revolution in Lộc Hưng and Gia Lộc World. At the destinations, Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái encouraged families and individuals to continue promoting the revolutionary family tradition, being an example for young people to learn and follow. At the same time, he requested that party committees and authorities at all levels continue to pay attention to implementing the regime fully, promptly, and to the right subjects. On April 24, the Provincial Women's Union, along with the Women's Charity Club and Châu Thành District Women's Union, held a ceremony to donate breeding cows to poor women. The household receiving the cows is Miss Ngô Thị Hồng Hạnh, living in Thành An, Hamlet, An Bình, Kham Muộn, has 2 children with mental illness. The family is extremely difficult. And Miss Nguyễn Thị Bé Tâm household lives in Quarter 1, Châu Thành Tháo, whose husband is paralyzed and is bedridden. She works as a hired laborer to take care of her 2 children. Each household receives 1 breeding cow worth 20 million Vietnam dong. Mr. Trương Văn Hoàng, Standing Committee member of the District Party Committee, Secretary of the Châu Thành District Party Committee, and leaders of the local government and local authorities, sincerely thank the support of the Women's Charity Club for donating 30 red cows, giving birth to 46 calves. The situation of sick and difficult women in the area in recent times has helped many households escape from poverty. At the same time, awarded a certificate of merit from the Provincial Business Committee to the club in social security work in the locality. During special activities, the Market Management Department will thoroughly handle and prevent the following situations: production, import, and trading of counterfeit goods, goods of unknown origin, and goods that infringe rights of intellectual property. In addition, taking management responsibilities according to the area of civil servants, market management teams, and especially the personal roles and responsibilities of the head of the market management unit, promote and improve coordination with relevant functional forces. The implementation period of the above plan is until the end of December 2024. Recently, the TayNinhTV Department of Information and Communications received information that a number of subjects impersonating leaders and civil servants of the Department of Information and Communications called a number of leaders and officials of a number of agencies, units, localities, businesses, and people by mobile phone number with a following content. The listener's phone number is related to the case that the police are investigating to intimidate, threaten, cause confusion and fear. Facing with the above situation, the Department of Information and Communications issued the following announcement. When civil servants and people receive calls or messages showing signs of fraud, they need to stay calm and save the phone number as evidence. At the same time, promptly notify the authorities in the following forms. Report to switchboard number 156 or 5656. By send a message free with the following syntax: LD, fraudulent phone number, reflected content, send to 156 or 5656. Call number 156 free to provide information according to the operator's instructions. Report to the local police agency. Report to the Inspectorate of the Department of Information and Communications at the following address: number 6 Trần Quốc Toản, Ward 2, TayNinhTV City, TayNinhTV Province. Phone number 0276 363 1168.
The Orana, according to information from the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, the El Niño phenomenon is likely to last until the end of spring 2024, with a probabilities of over 90%, then gradually transition to a neutralized state in the summer months. This is an extreme weather phenomenon that negatively affects farmer crops and livestock. This will affect the summer-autumn rice crop in TayNinhTV. At this time, rice growers in TayNinhTV are busy repairing the sown and sowing summer-autumn rice in 2024.
At the beginning of this year's summer-autumn crops, the ambient temperature is very high, commonly from 36 to 37 degrees Celsius. In some places, more than 38 degrees Celsius, with intense sunshine in the southeast provinces, in which the weather is hot in TayNinhTV, with very low humidity compared to many years ago. The rate of water evaporation is very strong, causing the rice field surface to dry quickly. The rainy season will come later than many years, negatively affecting the growth and development of rice plants right from the beginning of the season. The most important solution to this situation is to sow rice in the right season, according to the schedule of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. Accordingly, it is necessary to focus on sowing seeds from now until mid-June 2024. According to experts, if sowing is late, there will be many consequences, usually severe pest damage and crop failure. Therefore, in areas with water sources from irrigation systems, farmers take advantage of sowing seeds early without having to wait for rain. In the recent winter-spring crop, those who sow late will suffer a lot from oxyoluria, origin, or good machine, spending more money to prevent them, reducing rice productivity in the summer-autumn crop. Some farmers are still waiting for it to rain before sowing seeds. If the irrigation system is available, farmers have water, so it is best to take advantage of the schedule set by the Department of Agriculture. According to the 2024 summer-autumn rice crop plan, TayNinhTV has sown more than 49,000 hectares of rice. Up to now, nearly 10,000 hectares have been sown. The remaining area that needs sowing is very large. Rice growers must take advantage of the time during this period, applying numerous technical measures such as soil preparation when harvesting the winter-spring crop. It is necessary to loosen the soil to riot. Before sowing, water is applied and the soil is prepared so that it levels the field surface. So fertilized with lime and phosphate fertilizer should use certified rice varieties with high germination rates. Completely sow before June 15, 2024, avoid prolonged sowing, affecting the rivers and following planting seasons, as well as the arising of pests and diseases. The prolonged hot weather is a rate of affecting sowing. When sowing, farmers need to pay attention to avoid rough water, which will affect on the rice streams. Forecast of the TayNinhTV Department of Reproduction and Plant Protection, the summer-autumn rice crop may appear some harmful pests and diseases caused by bacteria. Farmers must regularly visit the fields and closely follow the rice fields to promptly detect and rightly prevent diseases and from spreading widely.
Ladies and gentlemen, in recent days, on forums, social networks, and even weather forecast applications, health issue warning that extreme heat will occur during the holidays of April 30 to May 1st. However, will the heat be as instant during the next holiday season? The National Hydrometeorological Center recently released official information.
According to the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, the upcoming April 30 and May 1st holidays will last for 5 days, and heat will cover most provinces and cities in the country. The hottest area in the country is from Thanh Hóa to Phú Yên. As for the capital Hanoi alone, the highest temperature will be about 38 capital degrees Celsius, not particularly harsh like what is being spread on social networks. From April 27 to 29, it is likely that the northeastern provinces will experience hot weather with a common daytime highest temperature of 35 to 37 degrees Celsius. Then April 30 and May 1st, there will be a local decline in some places. The hottest area in the country is the area from Thanh Hóa to Phú Yên, which is likely to suffer hot sun and intense heat. The Central Highlands and Southern regions have places above 37 degrees Celsius. Prolonged and intense heat in residential areas will easily cause explosions and forest fires, affecting people's health. In addition, hot weather during the day also brings the risk of thunderstorms in the evening, with dangerous weather phenomenon. A typical example is the thunderstorm on the evening of April 20. In the coming time, the northern and southern regions are also likely to occur. Secondly, when a thunderstorm occurs, do not take shelter under a tree. In case branches break, tornadoes or lightning strike the tree, affecting life. It is important to try to go inside the house at that time. Experts also emphasize that people and localities need to regularly update the National Center for Hydrometeorology's forecast on official media or directly access the UNES website. This is to brightly take community measures and ensure timely safety. Kontum City has more 190 households of the Bana ethnic minority. The traditional rong house located in the middle of the village is considered the center of the village, a place to organize major cultural events. However, due to time, the rong house was damaged. Therefore, in early 2024, people in the village worked together to repair the rong house. The village elders hold the village meeting, divide the groups among the people. Each family has to go looking for trees, bamboo, till, and dead grass to make. Without those things, you can't do it. Everyone must gather. Bana ethnic people gather at the communal house for major fruit festivals, such as rice cutting and road construction. According to statistics from the Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism of Kontum Province, up to now, out of a total of 503 ethnic minority villages on site, there are 479 community communal houses and state houses. Among them, 221 houses use traditional materials to build such as wood, bamboo, thatch roof, etc. Traditional roundhouse not only has the meaning of preserving the traditions of indigenous ethnic minorities, but is also an ideal destination for visitors to learn about. Consider the heart of the village, a place to preserve the traditional cultural values of the indigenous ethnic minority community. Preserving, building, and promoting the value of the traditional communal house is a very necessary in the current context of international integration. The traditional roundhouse is also the nucleus in the work of preserving and promoting the masterpiece of oral tradition and intangible cultural heritage of humanity, the Central Highlands Gong cultural space.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.